Hello, and welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you've been here before. If you haven't been here before, I mostly just make videos about my addiction recovery and my eating disorder recovery. So it's a pretty positive place to be. Today's video is a little bit different. A lot has gone on in the past 2 months since I last updated, and something specifically big happened to me. And I made it happen, and it was really, really scary, and it was really empowering, and it was a really hard decision for me to make. And in the end, I think it did serve me best, and I think it was the right thing to do. And I'm just dealing with the consequences of that. So I know that doesn't make a lot of sense, but today's video was really hard because I'm going to be talking about the fact that I confronted my abuser a couple days ago, about a week ago. That would be my mom and my stepdad. And it was really, really hard. So this is basically how it went down. I have been keeping secrets and really bad secrets, abuse secrets for a long time. And I've been keeping them under the instruction of my mom. She told me to keep these secrets, and so I did. My household was not a happy place to grow up sometimes. There were happy times, but there were also really scary times, and really traumatic times, and times that I was really, really alone. And I was made to be alone because it's easier to keep secrets when you are alone. I've been living with this for many years. And, now that I'm sober and clean, I'm coming up on a year sober from alcohol, which is awesome because the whole reason I started this YouTube channel was to talk about living with alcoholism and how much it sucked and how much I was trying to get better. So that's pretty cool, but, for my recovery anyways, not everyone's recovery is going to involve this, but for me, getting sober from alcohol and just stupid things like that, I had to do the 12-step program. I attended Alcoholics Anonymous, I've been to Narcotics Anonymous, there's Codependence Anonymous, there's Eating Disorders Anonymous. They're really great programs, but they all center themselves around the 12 steps, and the 12 steps are really helpful for me and my recovery. I found out. So one of the steps that you have to do, well, a couple of them involve, admitting to someone else and to like a higher power and to yourself, these things that are going to get you drunk again. Maybe they were things that you did that you feel guilty about, or things that happened to you that make you sad. Just things that are going to get you drunk again, like, those things, those poisons that are like in all of us, and that was really hard for me because, as obvious as it may have seemed, the abuse that I went through as a kid, I didn't really bring that up with my sponsor in the program because I was so brainwashed to not tell anybody about it that I just didn't think to tell her about it. And I don't know if this is like how it is for other people who have had childhood trauma, but I don't like talking about it. So I don't like talking about it with anyone or like feeling any of the emotions that come with it. So I just don't like to do that. But it finally came up that, I was really hurting. Here I am, I'm going to be 27 in like 30 days, and I still have all these secrets that I'm keeping from when I was like 13 up to like 17, and it's just really exhausting. And I know that these kinds of secrets would get me drunk again, and I can't have that. I don't want anything risking my sobriety. And when they give me these they give you this advice in the program, I tend to try and take it because I see that it works on other people. So what I ended up doing was I ended up calling my mom. I did call her. So prior to calling her, I texted her. Texted my mom and I was like, listen, we need to like talk over the phone for like a good hour, and I want you to like make time for me to do that. And that was in itself really hard for me because I don't like ask anything of my mom. Like I would, but not like her attention and her time. Like I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't ask that of somebody, so it was like hard for me. Of course, she was all worried, like why? And I just told her, we would talk when we talked, and basically I was able to call her up and privately talk to her, and God. Growing up, I was molested by my stepdad, and my mom didn't protect me. And she knew it was happening because I did tell her about it, but she didn't really want to hear me talk about it. She didn't really want to hear the details. She pushed me away. She got angry, and she manipulated me to not tell my friends, not tell family members, not talk about it, not text about it, not write about it, not do anything, because she told me that, I would be taken away, and my brothers would be taken away, and, it would all be my fault, and this was the best thing to do is to just stay together as a family and pretend like it's not happening. So, now that I'm an adult, I'm almost 30, like, I don't live at home. I live, like, hundreds and hundreds of miles away in another state. So I was just like, I can't have this fear over me anymore. I can't have this delusion that I have to be loyal to these secrets any longer. I don't want to do it anymore. So I told my mom, I remember that this happened to me, and I remember you chose not to do anything about it. And whenever I hear my story through another person, the only difference is usually their mom protected them or had, like, there was a parental figure who stepped in. And I asked my mom, like, why wasn't that the case with me and you? And immediately she got really mad, and she was like, well, I don't know why you expect me to be like other mothers. And I was like, well, it's not that I expected you to be like other moms. It's that, like, I expected you to do was, like, lawfully, and, like, you would think just, like, primitively you would want to protect your young. Like, just, like, it's the right thing to do. So I was like, it has nothing to do with being a different kind of mom. It's just making the right choice. And then she proceeded to tell me how hard it was, raising me and raising my brothers, and oh, you don't understand how hard it was. And honestly, I was there, and she was drunk a lot of the time and hungover a lot of the time. So I would imagine it was really hard to take care of kids when you're not available 90% of the time. And I was always the one changing diapers and making bottles. So I don't understand what she thought was so hard about watching me do all the fucking work. Pardon my French, but, like, really? Like, I don't even want to have kids. That's how much work I did to take care of my brothers. Like, I'm completely uninterested. Like, zero, zilch. Like, uninterested. Like, that killed it for me, dude. Like, donate my uterus to science, because, like, I don't want no fucking kids. Anyway, so I was like, what? Like, if you were sober, it probably would have been fine, Mom. Like, it's not that hard, like, raising kids. You were the one who wanted to have them. You were a stay-at-home mom. Like, what was so fucking hard about that? And I was like, what? And then oh man, I really lost it, because she was like, what'd she say? Oh my goodness. She was like, you really should have some sympathy for me. Like, me, the 13, 14-year-old being molested, I should have had sympathy for the, like, I don't even think I need to finish what I'm thinking. Like, you get it, right? Like, that doesn't make any sense. And so I lost it. I lost it. And I told her, like, I don't have any, like, sympathy for you. Like, how much I protected you. Like, how many times I found you passed out on the ground drunk. How many times I had to take you to bed drunk. How many times, like, I saw you acting completely ridiculous. Like, how many times you, like, hit me and were mean to me and talked down to me. Belligerent because you were wasted. Like, all the times you let me drink with you. Like, I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I did nothing but protect you. I didn't let anyone, I never talked shit about my mom to anyone. Maybe my closest friends I would complain to. But, like, I didn't let just anyone talk shit. Like, if another person said something about my mom, like a family member, like, that hurt. I would protect her. Like, every single time I wanted to, like, say something and protect myself. Like, I learned how to cut. I learned how to cut myself and self-harm because I didn't have any power against the sexual abuse that was happening. And like, I learned to take the pain out on myself. Like, every time I should have, a cop should have been called, or a file should have been reported, like, I cut myself instead. Like, every single time I should have, said something to my mom, I got high instead to hide those feelings, to hide that shame, and to hide that disgust. Like, I did nothing but have sympathy for her. My whole existence was to have sympathy for her. My whole existence was assuming that she was going to leave him. She believed me. She loved me. She was just stuck, or she was abused, or she was scared. But like, years and years have passed, and I'm going to be 27. Like, this has been like 13, 14 years. And she hasn't even thought about it. Like, once I got all crazy like that on her, she was quiet once I said all that stuff about self-harming and getting high just to cover up the pain, and then she bizarre like backtracked. I don't know if she was trying to like cover her own ass, but like, oh, I know why. Because I told her, I was like, you should be sitting in jail. Like, you and him should be sitting in jail. And then she backtracked and she was like, wait, so are you telling me he really did molest you? Like, you're saying that? And I'm like, yes, for the 5,000th time, yes, he molested me. For fuck's sake. Like, how clear do I have to make that? Like, why do you have to prove that? Like, why do I have to, like, debate it? Like, that's not normal. And it took me a long time to realize that's not normal. And it's really hard when it's your parent, and they're supposed to love and protect you, and they don't. And it makes you wonder if you're worth love and protection, and you are. And it's so sad that, like, for even a moment, I don't know why I'm doing this. It's just so sad for even, like, a moment, we would even think that we're not worth it. Because one irresponsible adult in our life, like, chose the easy path. Not the right path, And now I just make sure I'm not that kind of person. Like, I don't know. I remember telling my mom before the phone call ended, like, you're still raising my 2 little brothers in that house. And I'll tell you, like, everyone in our family knows he's a pedophile. They know that, your husband's a pedophile. So everyone's keeping an eye on you. It's not like when I was a kid, there's no secrets. And if anything happens to them, I'll be down there so quick it'll make your head spin. And, I don't know. I feel kind of guilty saying it felt good to threaten my mom like that, because she is so self-righteous, and she's such a victim, you know what I mean? Like, she's such a victim. Like, I know I've fucked up in life, like, I know I have, but she'll say that and she won't really mean it, you know what I mean? Because she has no humility. She can't be called out on shit. She doesn't know how to say sorry. She doesn't know how to change. She doesn't know how to have a conversation that's more than skin deep. And she's very judgmental, but she claims to be very spiritual. I don't know, dude. It just drives me fucking crazy. All I know is that she knows that I mean business, and I love my brothers, and I'm not going to say their names on camera, but I love them, and if anything were to happen to them, I would go on a killing spree, probably. So, I love them very much, and I don't want anything bad happening to them, like it happened to me in that house. So, and let me tell you, that decision was hard to do. This whole decision to even make the phone call with my mom was so hard, but I just kept having all these people in my life who didn't know what I was going through at all. But they would come up to me and they would tell me about times they were able to, confront their abuser or confront someone from their past and do it fearlessly. And I just was like, why not me? Like, why not me? Like, maybe I could do that. Maybe I could finally be free of this like torture that's makes me feel disgusting every day. I mean, this trauma and abuse I went through it's the main contributing factor to my, my alcoholism, my just addiction to escape. I don't even like to say alcohol addiction or drug addiction or eating disorder, because it sounds so separate. It's just one thing. I just wanted to escape. I just wanted to feel different, and it all really stemmed from that. And so, to be honest, after that phone call, I told her, I don't even know where this kind of forgiveness came from, but I told her, I'm mad at him, really not her, and that I love her and I always love her because she's my mom. but, you know, I just don't love what she chose to do. I don't approve of it. I don't like it. I think it's shit. I think she made bad choices. I think she made cowardly choices. And I'm an adult now, and I can see those kinds of choices. And, you know, I was a social worker, too, and I worked with kids who were traumatized and who had been removed from their homes because of that. And the parallels are horrible. I mean, it's really hard. It's really sad. There was no best choice in that situation, really. I mean, there was the right choice, which was involving, you know, law enforcement. But she didn't make that choice, so my life ended up the way it did because of that, and that used to really kill me inside, and now I have to tell myself that everything happens for a reason, and I know a lot of people are going to roll their eyes at that, and part of me does too, but if I don't believe that I'm here right now for a reason, then it would be so easy to get drunk again. It would be so easy to get high. It would be so easy to just stop eating because I wouldn't want to be alive, and it would be easy to hurt myself and cause harm to myself when you don't want to live. You know, it's an easy way to go, but it's really rough. It's a rough way to live. Easy way to go, rough way to live. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I just know that, like, after that whole conversation with her, I was really affected the next couple of days. She didn't talk to me. She didn't text me or anything the next week or so, you know. And I was really affected. Not because, like, I wanted her to text me or anything like that, but it's just, like, I guess it was, like, I don't know. I still had strong emotions about it, and my head was still spinning because to me, I was doing something I never thought in a million years I would ever do. I never wanted to talk about my abuse with my mom, even as an adult, because I was obsessed with protecting her feelings, and protecting her feelings meant that I felt good, you know, she was happy, I was happy, and I taught myself that when other people around me are happy with me, then I can be happy too. I had to unlearn all that shit too, but all I know is that, like, I guess the point of all of this is if you need to say something, if you need to speak your truth, and if something is holding you back, I think that you have every right to have that conversation. Because a lot of times, you know, the people that we need to have those conversations with, we're not going to be able to talk to them. You know, maybe they're somewhere far away, we can't reach them, or maybe they're not alive anymore, or, you know, whatever. But if you have an opportunity to speak your truth, especially if it involves trauma and abuse, then, like, I really think you should do it. I really think that this could be your sign to do it. Because I was really scared, and I really believed that I was going to take all my abuse secrets to the grave, and I was just going to be a walking, living, breathing secret of shame. And I was going to allow people to treat me that way. I was going to allow my mom to lie about me, and I was going to allow myself to just put a filter over my thoughts and my words and feel always uncomfortable but never say anything for the ease of somebody else. And I just can't do that. I couldn't do it anymore. You shouldn't have to do it either. You know, the trauma was bad enough. The abuse was bad enough. Like, what? You know, they're not going to comfort you, so stop comforting them. You know, give it back to them. If that person abused you or hurt you, you know, give that to them. You know, you still have to heal your heart, but you don't have to hold on to that. It doesn't belong to you. And you can give it to them, and they might just drop it on the ground. You know, you don't know if they're going to do anything with it, but at least you let go of it. You know, you can't control what they do. I know that sounds a lot easier than it is, but I guess the last thing I would have to say is just make sure you're safe. You know, if it's a phone call, that might be best. You know, if it's going to be in person, just make sure that person's not going to hurt you. Make sure that you're safe. You know, I would hate to give advice to someone and have them get in a confrontation and it become violent or angry because, you know, that person can't handle what you're telling them. You know, maybe write a letter or do a phone call or something like that. But, you know, I think that we all deserve to just be able to be free. And I thought if I moved like hundreds of miles away and did all these things and you know, I could be free, but it's still all up here, you know, it's all up here. And I just think that if you can speak your truth and you can find freedom, that like you should try to do it. It's been hard afterwards, but I'm still just trying to take care of myself. I'm 350 days sober. Almost 1 year. Really excited and grateful. I'm glad I didn't die a year ago. It was a really terrible day. But yeah, thanks to anyone who decided to watch this video. I really hope that everyone receives the love and help that they deserve. You know, we can't help the things that happen to us, but we deserve to be safe and comforted. We deserve to live happy lives, no matter what people did to us. And with that, I guess I'll end the video. Next video I make will probably be at 1 year. Yay! Hopefully it'll be a bit more positive than this one was. But thanks for listening, you guys, and I'll talk to you next time.